mixed in Rajoguna and Tamoguna. It's combination of Rajoguna and Tamoguna. So we should try to increase our company of Sattva-guna. Obviously, you cannot avoid completely Rajoguna because we are in this world. But we must minimize the impact of Rajoguna, Tamoguna in our life, because only in Sattva-guna there is real happiness. Rajoguna is more like just desires, so you are never satisfied. You are always wanting more and more and more. When you are satisfied, then you are actually Sattva-guna, because you are peaceful. So obviously, it's only in Sattva-guna that you can be really peaceful. In all other modes, actually you are complaining or you are actually miserable. So Tamoguna is the lowest, Rajoguna is higher than that, Sattva-guna is the best. But Krishna says, you try to rise above the three gunas also. So which means there is something even beyond Sattva-guna. And again, if you go back to the verse, Krishna says that, try to go above the three modes. And then it is called transcendental. So the word is, Krishna says, Nistraya Gunya. So you try to go beyond the modes. So which means, what is beyond Sattva-guna also? Beyond Sattva-guna is spirituality. So when we talk about spiritual life, that goes beyond Sattva-guna. So when we talk about anything which is divya, which is transcendental, so actually the word transcendental means actually beyond the modes. So if you go to the literal, if you Google in dictionary, you will find that the word transcend means to go beyond or to cross. So transcendental means crossing the three modes. So again, it is the Bhagavad Gita which is transcendental knowledge. Only with this knowledge you can go beyond the three modes. Otherwise, most of our desires will be in the three modes only. So Krishna is telling Arjuna, the Sattva-guna is the best guna, but to be spiritual, you have to go even beyond that. So actually the whole Gita will understand how to go beyond that. What does it exactly mean? In a more practical manner. The next verse which it can be used for understanding is this one, about desires and about krodha. So if you go to this verse
56,
actually Krishna starts explaining about the guna of a what is the word of a Sita Prajna. Yeah, it starts from there. If you go further than that, there is one verse called verse 59. And if you look at 59, it says, Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehina raso varjam rasopasya param drashtva nivartate. So there it explains the meaning of this verse is that one can go to a higher level, and if it goes there, you can easily give up the lower level. Right? It's easy, right?
Once
you go to a higher level, you can easily go to the lower level. Yeah. So sometimes suppose you want to help somebody who is in a lower mode. How can you help that person? By showing him what is in the higher level.
Yes.
Then automatically, if you tell that person, okay, suppose a friend who is, let's say, eating meat. Now you know eating meat is not good for you. So you have given up. But if you don't help the person give it up. If you tell them don't eat meat, the person will say, okay, I cannot give it up because I am so much habituated to it. But then if you give something better, if you cook something nice, you made that a nice sabji, if you give and take that, they say, oh, I never knew that even this tastes so good. So when you give a better alternative to a person, that person can give up the lower alternative. Just by telling a person to give up that lower alternative, it's not easy. Because you have to give a better alternative. So actually it's a very philosophical verse. That to give something low, you must get something high. When you get something high, you can easily give something low. It's a very philosophical point. And we use actually even in office. Okay, if you want to go to the next level, it's easy. You can give the lower level if you go to the next level. So getting something high, it's easy to give something low tastes. So habits can be changed by this. This verse is a very good effective for changing bad habits. That to cultivate good habits, automatically give up the bad habits. Then the next verse is just read the translation for the few of them. Read the next one.
Yeah.
The translation. 60th.
కుంతి పుత్ర, ఎంతటి ప్రజ్ఞ కలిగి జాగ్రత్తగా ఉన్నవాడి మనస్సునైనా సరే ఇంద్రియాలు వ్యాకులపరిచి హరింపజేస్తాయి. ఆ ఇంద్రియాలను స్వాధీనంలోకి తెచ్చుకొని సదా ఆత్మయందే ఆసక్తి కలిగి ఉండాలి. అలాంటి ఇంద్రియ నిగ్రహ వృద్ధి మాత్రమే స్థిరంగా ఉంటుంది.
Next one.
I read 61 also.
Yeah, next one.
Okay. ఎల్లప్పుడూ శబ్దాది విషయాలను గురించి ఆలోచన చేసేవాడికి వాటి మీదే ఆసక్తి కలుగుతుంది. ఆ ప్రీతి చేత ఆశ వల్ల క్రోధము కలుగుతాయి. కోపం వలన అవివేకం, అవివేకం వలన స్మృతి భ్రంశం, దాని వలన బుద్ధి చెడతాయి. ఆ బుద్ధి చెడగానే పురుషుడు నశించిపోతాడు.
Correct. So for these 4 verses, basically it explains about how Vishaya means we develop desires by contemplating subjects, and then if those desires are not fulfilled, then actually we get angry, right? And then when you get angry, then actually our buddhi is lost and everything is lost. Now if you really look at the world around us, it is designed for us to develop desires, right? So many advertisements, so many billboards, so many things. If you stay in a peaceful, small village in India or wherever, you'll find life is so peaceful.
Yeah.
But once you get out, you find that this world is full of so many opportunities, so many new things to experience, so many things to enjoy. So as long as you're enjoying, it's great. But will this enjoyment continue forever? No. One day it stops because of some reasons. Then you find you're so much used to that, you think, oh, I cannot enjoy now, I cannot get it. Then you develop basically this feeling of anger, you feel. So actually if you look at the Western civilization, why they are lost? Because they think, unrestricted enjoyment. Jo bhi man mein hai, just do it. If you feel like doing it, just do it. So with that mentality, fortunately we all come from a good culture that it's easy for us to see. But people who are born in this culture, they just can't see what is wrong in this culture. They just pursue things, and when they don't get it, they get angry. These people, you can see people are so crazy that they go in the mall and they open fire. They kill innocent people. Because they are completely crazy. Their life, something goes wrong and they just can't control their mind. They can't explain to themselves that things will go wrong sometimes. You won't get everything you want. But they are so much spoiled in their whole training, in their whole culture, that they think everything I want, the way I want, it must happen right now. Otherwise they just go crazy. So it's very important. If you stay in this country, if you raise children here, you have to ensure that they are shielded from this culture. Otherwise, you are great, but our children actually will be influenced by all these influences. So hence it's important to actually give understanding of the Bhagavad Gita and other cultures in a very nice manner so that it attracts them and they like it and they adopt it. And then the verse 70 is actually a very nice verse which explains about how should one control desires. Read that verse translation.
తనలోకి ఎన్నెన్ని నీళ్లు వచ్చి కలిసినా సరే కలత పడక చెలియకట్ట దాటక సముద్రం ఏ విధంగా గంభీరంగా ఉంటుందో ఆ విధంగానే స్థితప్రజ్ఞుడైన వాడు తనలోకి ఎన్ని కోరికలు ప్రవేశించినా కలత చెందక చపలుడు కాక ఆ భోగపరుడు కాక నిశ్చలంగానే ఉంటాడు.
Clear? It's a very self-explanatory meaning. We want to explain also that how if you look at the ocean, so many rivers are flowing, but ocean is still always still. Similarly, we may get all desires because of various external influences, but internally we have to be strong and we have to be quiet and calm so that we can absorb all these external influences. So if we are strong internally, we can actually withstand the external pressure of the external influences. And this is the last verse translation.
పార్థ, దీనినే బ్రహ్మీ స్థితి అంటారు. ఈ జ్ఞానం పొందిన వారు మోహంలో మునుగరు. మరణకాలం లోపల ఎవడైతే ఈ జ్ఞానాన్ని సాధిస్తున్నాడో వాడు బ్రహ్మ నిర్వాణ పదాన్ని పొందగలుగుతున్నాడు.
So this state of mind, is it just 1 day or 2 days? No. The Krishna said that you must have this state of mind for your entire life. If you have this state of mind of not having material desires and just having spiritual desires, then at the end of your life, you will be entitled to go to higher destination or Brahma Nirvana.
Yes.
So the whole meaning of Bhagavad Gita is basically to introduce spirituality and help us stay on the level of spirituality so that we can stay on a spiritual platform. Okay?